and welcome or welcome back to Moving on the Mat with Dana. And tonight we're going to continue on with the exploration of the chakras. So the last video I did was about the first chakra, the base chakra or the root chakra, and that was about stability and security and your roots and finding out who you are and just sort of refining that, regrounding, regrouping in your yoga poses. So we're going to move on to the next chakra, which is sacral chakra. So I just want to mention this. When you move from one chakra to the next, there's always a little bit of an overlap or a little bit of connecting energy. So even though they're quite different elements and energies, there's still some elements of, like, the colors, for example, red, orange. So sacral chakra's color is orange and root chakra color is red, so the colors are similar. When we go to the next chakra, it will be yellow, so they're similar to the one before, but they're still distinctly different. But there will be overlapping elements between the one before and the one after. So again, sacral chakra is the element of water. It's the second chakra. It is located above the tailbone, above that area, but just below the belly button on the spine, so it's still the lower back part of the chakra. And the element of water, so emotional and cooling, but also orange, happy, and a little bit fiery too. So the element really deals with creativity and joy and pleasure. So quite different in that way from the root chakra, which is a little more grounded, a little more serious, a little more non-negotiable somewhat. We just learn out who we are, who our roots are, where we come from, what makes us feel stable and secure. Whereas the second chakra, sacral chakra, is really about creativity and joy and sort of, creating stuff within your own self, so, and your own life. So again, what they recommend for this chakra to balance it out is anything creative, and they do mention specifically dancing to music, doing yoga, doing painting, doing drawing, something that's kind of getting into your almost like childlike self. And the age that we really work on this the most, so we're always working on all the chakras, but a lot of development happens in this specific chakra between age 7 and 14. So that's sort of the school age. We're all at school, we're making friends there, we spend a lot of time socializing at that age. And friends are a big deal. Making friends is very important between 7 and 14. And so is doing a lot of creative visual things. So just keep that in mind when we move through the poses. So for the poses, we're going to do the poses that help to relax the hip area, because the lower hip area, the lower back area is the prime area, and just doing a little bit more flowy movements. Okay, so let's just start. Again, we'll just roll out the shoulders and just loosen things up, and then the other way a couple times. And then maybe one shoulder forward, then the other, so just a little bit more loosening up of the shoulders. And then back, 4, 3, 2, good. And then just swing it out, loosen up those arms and legs, just kind of let everything relax a bit. Deep breath in and out. Shake it out a little bit, loosen up those hands, wrists, shoulders, shake them off, shake out all the negative energy. Okay. Loosen it all up, and then just kind of take a deep breath in. Let's bring those arms up overhead, and then exhale down. Let's do 2 more of those big breaths in all the way up. Empty all the way out. 1 more big breath in, all the way up. And this time we're going to shake it down and shake it out. Just coming into a forward fold and just swing out those arms, loosen things up. Relax here, hang here. And slowly just roll your spine up, roll it back. We're going to come next into dancer pose, because this is actually a pose that opens the hips, lengthens through the spine, and it's dancing. So it's a basic dancer. So we're going to bring one leg up, and we're going to let that hip open, spine lengthen, and just reaching the arm up. So just lengthen the arm up overhead, opening the hip flexors, take a few deep breaths in and out, reach it out. If you want to go a little bit further with the lift and pull up again, just working on your balance, working on that stability, but also lengthening the spine, opening that hip flexor. Deep breath in and out. Okay, and then we're going to take that same leg, take a big step forward and sink the back leg back. So we're, again, just in a warrior pose, sinking into it, breathe into it, relax the shoulders and arms, and then open arms wide, lengthen it all out, reach it out. And we'll come into side angle pose and reach the arm overhead. So a side body stretch, look to the ceiling, look to the sky. Deep breath in and out. And then bring that same arm up. Straighten that front leg into triangle again, opening chest, back, shoulders. And this time we're going to come all the way down to that front leg. And just take a few seconds here in triangle forward bend, just folding forward, head heavy, just sinking into it. Then bring that back leg back a little further and deeper into the floor. Just let it rest down to the ground. And we're going to lift those arms up into a crescent moon. So again, opening the hips here, lengthening through the spine and getting into that symbol of the moon. Deep breath in and out, lengthen it out. Feel that stretch. And then come back down to the ground. Both hands on the floor in front of, or just beside maybe that front foot. Come into your back toe and let's step back into downward dog. And just take a few seconds here, walking the dog, stretching out those legs, grounding those palms. Take a few deep breaths in and out, coming into the toes and then the heels. Just feeling that stretch and lengthening. Let's try bringing the feet to the edge of the mat just for a minute, just to lengthen again. Deep breathing. Bring the feet back to center and relax here. And then just bring them hip width apart and we'll slowly bring the hands in back to forward bend or Uttanasana. Roll yourself up, all the way up, coming up nice and tall. And then we're going to shift our weight to the other side and repeat those 2 or 3 exercises. So, shifting to the left leg, grabbing that right leg, take a minute here to balance and ground. So opening through the hip, lengthening through the spine, opening through the chest, balancing, lengthening, lifting and reaching. See if you can go a little bit bigger with that dancer pose into a little bit of a back bend and deep breath in and out. Ground and center. Okay, let's release that front leg, bring it forward, and we'll come into another warrior pose, just extending those arms up, sink into it here, relax into it, relax the shoulders and arms, deep breath in and out, and then opening wide to warrior 2. Come again down onto side angle pose and reach that arm overhead, lengthen it out, open the side ribs suddenly, feel that side body stretch, deep breathing, and then bring it back up. Let's straighten the front leg and front arm back into triangle pose, opening chest, back, shoulders, gaze up, reach up, and then we're going to bring that extend hand all the way down to that front foot and coming in for a few seconds into triangle forward bend, just straightening out those legs, folding forward, hamstring stretch, deep breath in and out. And then the back leg's going to step back further, just a little, and we're going to come down to resting lunge and lift those arms up into a crescent moon. So opening hips, opening chest, reaching back, lengthening that spine. I'll take a few deep breaths in and out as you reach, lift, lengthen. Round and lengthen and open. And then return to the ground. Let's bring the fingers to the floor, coming into your back toe. Step into downward dog. Big step back. Again, walk the dog. Take a few seconds here. Lengthen that spine. Deep breath in and out. Feel that stretch. Sink into it. Okay, we're going to come down to the ground. Just take a few seconds to rest back in child pose. Relaxing in child pose. Deep breath in and out. Sinking the tailbone, resting the hands. Full body breathing. Okay, and coming back into all fours. So, we're going to just do the simple cat-cow to warm up the spine. So hands are grounding, shins are grounding, and we're just going to breathe in, head comes up, and then round and arch and empty it out. Getting that whole spine moving. Tailbone comes up, look up, breathe in, arch out, round out, empty it out. 2 more sets, breathe in and up. Look up, lengthen, round out, arch out, breathe out. One final set, breathing in, head and tailbone comes up. Arch and empty and round it out. Okay. Let's come back into downward dog and just take a few seconds here to relax in down dog. And then I'm going to take the right leg up into a 3-legged dog. So heel sinking on one side, lift to the other, open that hip a little bit, open that hip to the side, feel that stretch, and then come back down, lengthen it out. Let's try the opposite leg, lift that leg up, open that hip up to the side, open wide, deep breathing. Lift and lengthen, 3-legged dog. Come back down to the ground. lengthen it back. Then we're going to walk our hands forward to the front of the mat and drop into a cobra. So opening hips, opening chest, a little back bend here, lengthening through the spine, grounding those palms. Sink it back to child pose. Relax back. Deep breath in and out. And just slowly walk yourself back up. Let's take it again to a deeper lunge. So we're going back into lunge, resting lunge, just for a few more seconds. So my palms are going to ground right beside that front foot, and just kind of sinking into that front leg, breathing deeply, grounding, relaxing, and just finding that hip release, trying to release through the hip flexor. And then we're going to bring one hand to either side of that front foot, and we're going to slowly walk the fingertips back, bring the toes up, fold into it a little, get into that hamstring just a little bit, feel that stretch. And bring it back in. And let's come back into triangle forward bend. So hands on the floor for now, coming into the back toe, and just come back into downward dog. Triangle forward bend, then down dog. Lengthen it all back. Deep breath in and out. And then we're going to try the other leg. So you can come down, rest, and child pose, or you can just lift and bring that foot up. We're going into resting lunge. So again, walk the toes to the front of your mat. Hands ground beside that front foot. Take a few seconds to breathe, relax, and sink into it. Feel that hip releasing and opening. Grounding here, relaxing here, breathing. Okay, one hand to either side of that front leg. Walk your toes back. Lengthen that back leg. Sink forward. Feeling that stretch in the hamstring. And then come forward again. Let's come into the back toe. Back into triangle forward bend just for a few seconds. Lengthen both legs, fold forward. One more time, step back to downward dog. And just walk it out in down dog. Lengthen your spine, relax the heels. Deep breath in and out. One more time forward. We're going one more time into the cobra, dropping those legs, opening the hips, opening the chest, lengthen the spine, deep breath in and out. And gradually sink back to child pose and relax. Deep breathing. Slowly walk the hands in and up, okay? And let's take a few minutes in sitting, okay? And actually, I might move the camera down just a little bit. So we're going to do some sitting poses for a few minutes on the ground. Okay, so the soles of the feet coming together. We're going to start with just the simple down angle pose. So again, a hip releasing pose, and just trying to get those knees to drop while the spine lengthens. Pull those feet in as close as comfortable for you. Take a few deep breaths in and out here. Just relax and breathe. Release through the hips, lengthen through the spine. Just sort of relaxing the body, sinking the lower body down, upper body up. Okay, we're going to come next into easy pose. So just simply crossing those legs, and I'm going to just try to loosen up the hips a little. So hands just resting on top of the knees gently. We're going to circle around a few times. So this is, again, lengthening out the spine, loosening up the hips, moving into those edges, breathing in and out. One more big circle around. Just lengthen it all out as much as you can. Feel that stretch. Let's do one more. One more time. And then back up to center, and we're going to switch legs. So opposite leg forward, opposite leg back. Switching the directions of the circles as well. So just lengthening and breathing. Sink it side. Fold it forward. Lean it back. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel that stretch. One more time around. One more big circle. Stretch it all out. Let's finish off with a simple twist. So I'm going to bring one hand up, one hand behind the back, and just lengthen your spine. Look out to the side wall or back wall. Get into the spine and loosen those hips up. Breathe in and out. Warm it all up. One more breath in and out. Back to center. Let's switch legs one more time just for the twist, okay? So just switching legs one last time. Arm up, one hand behind the back. Bring that hand over to the opposite knee. Lengthen and look out. Open chest, back, shoulders. Deep breath in and out. Take some deep breaths in. and out. Okay, good, back to center. So from here, we're going to do a little more hip releasing. We're going to go back first into bound angle pose. So again, just take a few seconds with the soles of the feet coming back together, knees falling to the ground, spine lengthening, full body breathing. And then I'm going to take one leg and just rest it behind. So again, just try to sink those legs down. We'll do another simple twist. Opening chest, back, shoulders, lengthening out to the side wall or back wall. Breathe in and out. Turn to center. Okay, from here, this leg's going to stay almost exactly where it is, but this leg's going to slide back, and we're going to slide into pigeon. So I'm going to bring that leg back, sink it down, bring those arms down, and just try to rest into the ground, and just feel that hip releasing and opening, sinking a little deeper every breath out, feeling that stretch. You can rest right to the floor if you want, sinking it all the way down. Take a few more deep breaths here. And just be careful that the knee joint isn't getting too much attention. You want the hip to feel this. This is what we're targeting. We're trying to keep the spine centered. And again, just a couple more deep breaths. Okay, I'm going to slowly bring my hands back up. And that was resting pigeon, and we're going to take it to a long lengthening up, opening the hip. And then just for this part, just see how it goes. We're going to try to grab that back leg, open that hip a bit more, bring that foot towards the shoulder. And again, this is not king pigeon, it's more like mermaid. We're just trying to feel that hip releasing and opening as we lengthen the spine a bit. Deep breath in and out. Okay, then relax that leg down. Coming back into both the hands. We're going to step back to downward dog just for a few seconds. Stretch it out for a few seconds. Lengthen it all out. Deep breath in and out. Stretch out those legs. And then come back down. We're going to return to bound angle pose. Okay? So back into sitting, just like we started with. Relax here, breathe here. Feel that hip opening and releasing. Deep breath in and out. And then I'm going to switch it to the opposite leg. Okay? So I'm just going to bring the opposite leg around. So once again, trying to get those legs to sink, trying to get those hips to release and open. And we're going to take it to a simple little twist. Just walk your hands around, look out to the side, deep breath in and out. Squeeze out those abs, open that chest. And back to center. Okay, so sliding that back leg back. And again, just sort of sinking into the ground, letting that hip open, just be gentle around the knee. Take your time coming down, folding forward, sinking into the stretch. Relax and breathe. And again, we'll try to take roughly a minute here, maybe not a full minute, but close to. And again, you can sink all the way down if you want, just really rest into it. Let that hip open to the ground. Again, this is a very grounding pose. Relax into it. One more breath in and out. And we're going to slowly, gradually come back up. So just take your time coming up. If you want to hold a little longer, you can. And then when you're ready, we're just going to walk the hands up. And again, try to bring that back foot in. So if it's very tight, don't force it. But if you can reach it, that's great. And just see how much you can bring it towards you by still bringing the chest back, shoulders, and getting into that stretch. So you can have a deep breath in and out here. And then we're going to release that back leg again. Relax down. Back to both palms on the ground. Stepping one more time into down dog. Big stretch out in down dog. One last time. Stretch out those legs. Lengthen that spine. Deep breath in and out. Feel that stretch happening in the whole body. Okay, and we're going to come down. Okay, so we're going to do a couple more hip stretches. We're going to go into the bridge, and then keyhole, and then some more sitting. So for this one, I'll try to go a little on the side so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so feet on one side, we're just going to ease down slowly. Try to use those abs and back muscles, going slowly, rolling it down gently. Eventually coming to the floor, bring the feet in just a little. Okay, and then we're going to extend the arms overhead, coming into a bridge. Grounding through those feet, lifting through those hips. Lengthen up through the spine, shoulders relaxing, feet grounding, hips lifting, spine lengthening. And then bring the arms back overhead, drop them to the side of the body. Roll that spine down nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. until the tailbone eventually makes contact with the ground. And we're going to bring one leg over the opposite knee and reach those hands through to the back thigh and pull that leg towards you into keyhole. So hug it in, feel that hip stretching. It's a big hip stretch. Deep breath in and out, relax everything else, and rest down. Okay, let's try the other side, grounding this opposite foot, opposite leg coming across. Once again, reaching through to the back of the thigh, hug that leg in, pull it towards you. Get into those hips, deep breath in and out, feel that stretch. Everything else relaxing. Deep breathing. And rest. Okay. Just relax here. Let's just switch the knees, the thighs, the legs, the feet, side to side a couple times. Deep breath in and out just to loosen up that lower body. We're going to come back into sitting slowly. So coming back up to sitting to finish off. Okay, back into bad angle pose, revisiting that pose one more time. So again, this is a really gentle, simple hip opener. And take a few more deep breaths in and out. And we're going to try one or two more, slightly more advanced hip openers. Not much, but just, you might feel these a bit more. So we're going to start with log pose or half lotus next. So we're going to bring one leg in and let it rest, and bring this other foot on top as close to the hip as you can manage. And you're trying to get those knees to relax, hips to open, everything to sink down. And again, just holding this stretch for a few breaths. So if hips are tight, you might feel this a lot, but just do the best you can. If hips are really relaxed, you actually could bring this bottom leg up and tuck it in for full lotus. So that's an option for some people. This is sort of the intermediate, not too advanced version of lotus, half lotus or log pose. So we're going to take this same stretch to the other side, bring that leg down, and we're going to bring the opposite foot on top. Again, bring it in as close as you can towards the hip, lift it up, pull it in, and just try to relax here. So even if there's a bit of tension, just take a few slow, full, deep breaths in and out. Sink those legs down the best you can. Breathe through the whole body. Okay, good. Let's take a little break. Let's shake it all out, massage it out, pound it out, loosen things up. Okay, maybe the feet too a little bit, side to side with shuffle the feet. And then we're going to go back into sitting, just sitting in easy pose, which should feel kind of relaxed after all those hip stretches. Okay, so whenever you're sitting on the floor, just simply sitting will help release and relax the hips a bit more. So even if you have not a lot of energy to do a whole lot of hip stretches, you can always just take a pillow or something and sit on the floor for a bit, like watching TV or whatever. So we're just going to finish with some color breathing. So as I mentioned earlier, the color for the sacral chakra is orange. It's like a bright, happy color, joyful, creative, happy color. And I just want you to think about the color orange in your lungs, and just imagine that we have orange permeating around us in the air. It's just all over, and we're going to take some deep breaths in and really feel the abs, and then empty out. So if you can really breathe right into that belly, the deep belly breathing, and then into the chest, and then exhale out. And again, just imagine you're breathing in the color orange, filling up the lungs and the diaphragm with orange, and then emptying it out. And as you breathe in, you're just filling, giving lots of oxygen, colored, warm air, orange, happy air. And as you breathe out, just get rid of any toxins or anything that you don't really need anymore. One or two more breaths here. And then just to finish off, just imagine yourself by water, surrounded by blue, some cooling, relaxing blue color. And again, take a minute to breathe in the energy of the blue, the coolness, the relaxing energy there, breathing in and out.